Hello friends, I thought I would do something a little different this video. I'm going to show you the garden from the outside. So here's our arch with the wild grapevine. I'm walking along the edge of the driveway, well, the parking area next to the driveway. So there's the apple and the, in my finger, and the hibiscus, giant hibiscus, and the artemisia still blooming. I think after all that rain it sent up another thing. There's the wee pond, and my squash is not doing what I'm asking it to do. We've got the gorgeous cone flowers, some elephant ears, our other apple tree, lots of mugwort. This guy's gonna have to go. He's a mulberry. I did not know that they got so big. I thought these guys were going to get big, and they're only about hip height right now. So the cosmos, the giant cosmos, they're doing really well this year. They spread by seed and have taken off. You can see a bunch of them here. There's there's a butterfly. There's butterflies on it. Butterfly weed. Hey, that makes me happy. Yay. Here's our, is it hawthorn? No. Why can I never remember the name of this? Hazelnut. I know it starts with an H. So I looked up this weed and it was called Caribbean jute. So I'm gonna let it grow and see what happens. My friend Melissa came over the other day and she said, I do more wildcrafting than gardening. She might be right. So our elderberries are coming in. Look how heavy this guy is. So heavy it can't even hold up. Oh gosh. So this is buckwheat, and I'm letting the foxtail grow because it's wild millet. We're going to feed it to the chickens. That's a volunteer tree I need to come cut down. Here's my watermelon vines. I don't need that guy. Watermelon vines. They're doing really nicely. And here's where it starts getting pretty wild. There is a banana in there. The doesn't produce edible fruit from what I'm told. Here's some of the wild one of the 5 kinds of black-eyed Susan. I'm just a sucker for black-eyed Susans. And here's some more. Apparently the deer like them as well. I have not done anything with this part of the garden this year, so it's just crazy. Somewhere in there, no, somewhere over here is a raspberry cane. Somewhere, it's there. I've got some lemon balm, Monarda bee balm over here, and that's one of our shadberries, serviceberry. Here's our crepe myrtle and my asparagus. That's the one I moved from my old house, my old garden. And there's a younger asparagus over here, and I have asparagus all along in here. It's sort of hidden in it. This pretty little feathery things. And those I grew from seed, believe it or not. I'm really impressed with myself for that. And oh well, just came through here the other day and it was not like that. This grapevine is ferocious. Hey, we've got a zinnia. So here's the area next to the house. Also rather, oh, I think we just saw a lizard. Oh, so pretty. Here's one of my canna lilies. Oh, it's got one of those awful beetles on it. Japanese beetle. All right, I squished it. So I have not been out here for the last couple of weeks. It's I've just been worn out too much. There's the oregano and rosemary pot. Let's see if we can fix this guy again. I want him to grow along this stick here. Can we get him to wrap around? Get him to wrap around? Maybe? Okay, that looks pretty good. The erstwhile strawberry plant, it's just crazy. Like all of the strawberries on in the interior are gone. So I'm going to be covering this with compost or probably weeds, like pulling weeds and just letting them chop and drop, and then we'll let them compost over the winter. And I'm going to be replanting a lot of the I'm going to be replanting a lot of the strawberries that have gravitated to the exterior. Here's more of the cosmos. It's about almost chest high, waist high to me right now. In a few more weeks, it will be incredibly tall and like my amaranth. Look at this. This guy's eye level with me now. Starting to make seeds. I'm very happy. I've tried to grow amaranth before and have not had this much success. Look, it's so pretty. And I planted it to use for a dye, but I've been eating the little leaves. Buckwheat appears to be going to seed. How about that? I don't know how to harvest it. I've never planted it before. It's done pretty well. The grapes are maturing. And then I have not done anything with this area, but I've started dropping, see when I talked about compost and chop and drop, I've been dropping the weeds here and letting them kind of turn into a mulch. I did have them in a bucket and it just overflowed. And of course what was in the bucket had settled down and was only about not even a quarter of the height of the bucket. So it was, I just poured it out over here and I'm gonna let that do its thing. Here's my basil. I'm very happy with the basil. Apparently they really like this semi-shady, not quite shady spot. They get sun, but not so much sun. Every place else that I've planted basil, it's suffered from the heat. And oh gosh, here's another squash that wants to do something other than what I want it to do. So what I like to do is stick one of the leaves through and then another leaf up here, and that's usually holds it. Maybe put it through here and see if I can get it to hang on to the actual trellis. All right, it's up. And I gotta take care of that one too. Lettuce bolting finally. This is, I think, is a kind of lettuce that must be very heat tolerant. It did really well for me. I'm hoping to get seeds. I did weed this area a few days ago, so it's hopefully going to produce for me. This site is gets too much shade, I think, because this is on the east side of it, so it gets morning shade, and then it gets the midday sun, and then it gets afternoon shade from there. So I've got to figure maybe this will become my basil plot in the future. There's a lot of water that comes out here. Oh, I should cross over. A lot of water that comes out here, and I did plant arugula here, but then I've neglected the arugula. So here's the middle part. Now I did weed some of this area earlier this week. Like I said, I have not been getting out here as often. Usually when my garden is successful is when I get out here every morning, and I just kind of got discouraged, I think. Here's my tansy. So I did get out here and I found I have like 4 radish plants, which makes me very happy. So I got the weeds cleared out from around them. And then this is Nutsedge, which is considered a very terrible weed because it likes to grow in the yard. And then when it grows in the yard, it sticks up and people hate it. Americans hate it. But it grows a nut-like tuber. So I've been letting it spread here. I wish it came up earlier in the season. It's you know, it only starts coming up maybe in late June. So there's nothing else here for a good 3 or 4 months. Here's our garlic. Now I've learned that the garlic flowers actually produce a very pungent garlic oil. So they can be used as flavors. I don't know if I'll ever actually harvest the real garlic. I might just let it grow and just use these. And here's our surviving tomato. They're very thirsty plants, and I forget that they like so much water. So I have to get out here and water it. And then here's Inky, the star of the show. Inky's about, I'd say about 8 feet tall now, and is starting to produce berries. Look at that, ripened berries. I did actually use one of Inky's offspring this season for poke salad, and it's not bad. It's traditionally you boil it, pour out the water, boil it again, and then fry it with bacon. And I'm not fond of bacon, so I did not do that. But I'm going to work on learning how to season it for next year, because that was really good. All right, so here's the garden from right about in the middle. Oh, I forgot. The maypops are producing fruit, but they're all hollow, which is why they're called maypop, because if you step on them. Yeah, I'm really thrilled with the marigolds and how they were all volunteers. Big mess. Wonderful, wonderful mess. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you all are well. And I'm hoping we're going to get some actual squash soon.